Hi, happy Friday. It is Friday, September 11th, and today is our last day of the week and our last day of our social studies unit, community helpers. We have learned about a lot of community helpers last week and this week. We learned about police officers, firefighters, and doctors and nurses and veterinarians and dentists and teachers and librarians and mail carriers and grocery store workers, crossing guards. My goodness, so many. Today, this is one you might not thought would be a community helper, but without them, we wouldn't have buildings, we wouldn't have houses, we wouldn't have schools, we wouldn't have malls and stores, and we wouldn't have parking lots and big playgrounds. Let's meet a construction worker. Construction workers have a very important job. They build everything that we need. If we didn't have construction workers, we'd have to build it all ourselves. Can you imagine helping your mom or dad build the house you live in? It'd be a lot of work and it'd take a very long time. So we're going to meet a construction worker, and the author who wrote the words to this book is Bridget Heos, and the illustrator who drew the pictures is Mike Moran. So let's meet a construction worker. Our class is taking a field trip. We're visiting a construction zone. Mr. Moore greets us. He is the boss here. He's going to show us how construction workers build a new building. He says we have to stay outside the fence. Workers only in the construction zone. It's for safety. Construction workers are people in the community. Some build buildings, roads. There's concrete workers, roofers, all kinds of construction workers. This just isn't any construction site. It's our new school. But right now, it's mostly dirt. Awesome, says Aiden. We can play King of the Hill at recess. Mr. Moore smiles. All of this dirt will be flat. You'll have a playground on top. We see lots of trucks. Some work with big metal teeth. Some have strong arms. The trucks don't do all the work. People are inside. They steer. They guide the heavy loads. An excavator digs wide ditches for basements. It digs narrow ditches called trenches for water pipes. And it also moves dirt for making roads. Mr. Moore used to be a carpenter. He helped build things with wood. Later, he was the lead carpenter. Now he's leader of all the workers. He follows plans that an architect created. Together, the workers turn those plans into a building. So architects draw the plans for the buildings, and the construction workers follow the plans and they build the buildings. Those plans are called blueprints. See? The paper looks blue, doesn't it? Mr. Moore's number one job is keeping people safe. He makes sure workers wear hard hats to protect their heads. They wear orange safety vests so other workers can see them easily. Beep, 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 beep. A concrete mixer beeps as it backs up. The beeping helps keep everyone safe. Workers know to move out of the truck's path when they hear it. Wet concrete flows through a long pipe to the ground. This will be our school floor. Will we sink into it? Luke asked. Mr. Morris says the concrete will dry and harden. Then carpets and rugs will go on top of it. The concrete will begin to harden just about 90 minutes, 1.5 hours after they pour it. So they have to work fast. Some workers work high above the ground. Masons build the walls with bricks. Someone runs wires for electricity through the walls. A few bricks break, crunch. They will be recycled, so will the leftover metal, wood, cardboard, and concrete. So they'll recycle so they can reuse some of the materials that break or that they don't need. He unrolls our school drawing. Solar panels on the roof will take in energy from the sun. This energy will help to power our computers, lights, and more. So some of the newer buildings have what they call solar panels on top. And that are these little windows, screen looking things on top of the buildings. We can't wait for our sunny green school to be finished. Because Mr. Moore lends a hand to build our new school, we'll give him a hand. And that is the end of Construction Worker. Let's meet a construction worker. So, since we have learned about so many different construction workers, and this is our last day of our community helper unit, I want you to draw your favorite community helper we've learned about. Doesn't have to be what you want to do when you grow up. Just the favorite community helper that we have learned about. And then I want you to write why you love your community helper. You could say, I love they help people. I love they keep people safe. I like them because they drive a truck, or whatever the reason is. You picked your community helper. I want you to draw your community helper, and I want you to say why they're your favorite, and then at the bottom, say a big thank you. Right, thank you. You can do it. And if you need to, okay, so pause the video and write this on the lines in your journal. I love blank. And this is where you're going to write your community helper in there. Firefighters, police officers, teachers, dentists, doctors, nurses, because blank, and you say why. And then of course you've got to put a period at the end of black dot. So pause the video, write down I love, draw a line, write because, and then draw another line. Make sure you leave enough room here to write the name of your community helper. One more time. I love, and you can pause the video. Community helper, which one? Because, and then say why, and put a period. Then you can pause the video one more time to write thank you. And this is an exclamation mark. This is something you put at the end when you're excited. So thank you. Pause the video and write that underneath why you wrote your favorite community helper. And that's your Friday social studies assignment. Have a great weekend, and we will be doing science for the next 2 weeks. How exciting. Bye, boys and girls.